Hello, welcome to Why I Coach. My name is Julia Mead. I'm a professional certified coach and also a member of the ICF Colorado chapter. We're a dynamic coaching community serving the world with work and life transforming coaching and training. We decided to launch this series so that you can meet some really interesting and inspiring coaches in our community. Oftentimes, coaching as a profession is not a place people start with, but rather a part of life's journey to arrive at and start from. This is a chance for us to get curious about what draws these wonderful coaches to the profession of coaching. How has that choice changed their lives? How are they continuing to grow and expand as a person, as a professional, or as a business owner? What lessons and wisdoms can we draw from them? Today, we're so thrilled and honored to have Sara Boas with us. Her friends lovingly call her Zora. Zora is an MCC, Master Certified Coach, who is one of the pioneers of the coaching profession. She's been coaching actively for more than 30 years. She's also an ICF accessor at the PCC and MCC level, and has her own accredited coach training program serving coaches worldwide. Zora, we're so thrilled to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here with you.
Yeah, so let me start with this. I'm really curious, what drew you to the profession of coaching?
That's an especially interesting question for me, because I actually did start with coaching. What I mean by that is I never took a decision to leave something or stop doing something and start to be a coach, but I was actually born into a coaching family. So my dad was one of the pioneers himself of the growth movement. He's 90 now, and he's still active as a therapist and a coach. My mother was a teacher, an artist, a photographer, and a poet. And both of them really had a coaching ethos, a coaching approach to life. And the way that they raised their children was really through coaching style conversations. So we were listened to, we were self-responsible in our decisions, we were guided, but not often told exactly what we must do. And this was a wonderful start in life. And so when people ask me, how long have you been coaching, or when did you start coaching? I don't really know what to say. Should I say, well, 32 years ago when I founded my coaching business? Should I say 40 years ago when I really was, 18 years old and started to attend workshops and trainings around the world to develop myself professionally and personally? Or was it long before that, when I was a child, in a coaching style conversation in my family, or even perhaps before I was born, in a longer family tradition? So for me, it's something that I was born into. And, as I went on, I started to think about how I wanted to work and what I wanted to do. And I wanted something that would give me a lot of freedom, a lot of creative fulfillment, a lot of humanity and satisfaction in my work, doing something that I would find meaningful for myself and feel I was making a contribution. And so I started to develop this approach that at the time didn't really exist. I almost felt like I was making it up. And then, of course, I reached out and I realized lots of other people around the world had the same idea. And so together, we did that alongside one another and then coming together. And so the coaching profession was born.
This profession has enabled you to understand and to touch a new depth of humanity. That is something that very rarely other professions get to say, right?
That's so true.
Yeah. So in your own words, how would you, if someone who never knew coaching, had never met any coaches come to you, how would you explain to them what coaching is?
Well, to me, coaching is a co-creative conversation. It's a conversation in which neither the coach nor the coachee knows exactly what we're going to talk about or which direction that journey will take. Mm-hmm. But the coach brings a depth and a refinement of professional skill to gently guiding and leading that conversation in partnership with the client, so that that coachee can explore any topic that they feel is important for them at that time. And I always think that coaching has two levels. At the upper, more surface level, we're looking at specific challenges somebody might be facing in their life, problems they want to solve, a difficult relationship, a new work challenge or opportunity. And together we are defining what are the real themes there and actions that that person will take outside of and after the session, between sessions. But every single life situation like that, every single challenge and opportunity is also a clue to a deeper level of personal growth and self-realization. And so at the same time as we're being very pragmatic and action-oriented, we're also in coaching making sure that we each grow as a human being and identify those deep themes that we each have and that we need to address and engage with in order to keep growing throughout all of our lives. And so whether it's executive coaching, leadership coaching in a corporate context, or some life coaching, or somebody in career coaching who's taking a new career step, whatever kind of coaching it is, it's always actually an engagement with the whole person and an opportunity for a person to grow.
Yes, I absolutely love what you said. I mean, as coaches, we know, people, when they come to us for coaching, they think they have specific challenges. But actually, if they're really engaged in the process and they inevitably go to the deeper level to look at them, how they show up at the world, deep understanding of being human. That is, to me, the magic of coaching. So I know you have your own accredited coach training program. So will you share with us how you help your clients come from the surface and going deeper, the ethos of who they are?
Thanks for the question. There's so much that one could say. So when you talk about clients, of course, there are two populations that I really work with. One is other coaches around the world, as you said, in the Accredited Coach Training Program, or as a mentor coach or masterclasses. And the other one is myself and my team in my business coaching people who are not themselves coaches, coaching mostly, in our case, corporate leaders, business leaders, community leaders, but also artists and entrepreneurs around the world. Now, in both of those cases, we are, of course, looking to go deeper. The coaching approach that I've developed that helps us to do that is the one that I teach to other coaches in that kind of training or educational environment. And it's also the one that I use when coaching. But when I use it, I'm not talking about it. I'm not teaching it. I'm just applying it, holding it in my mind as a framework to guide me as a coach. When coaches come to me, they are also going to go through that experience for themselves, but they're also going to learn a model. And the model, the framework it's called VIA, which means Latin. In Latin, it means path or way. And VIA stands for vocation, integration, and alignment. And so what I love to look for when I'm coaching, what I teach other coaches to look for, is through all the stories, through all the daily challenges, through all the specific pragmatic coaching that we do, first, what is that deep vocation that a person is expressing? What is their true life calling? What gives their life purpose and meaning? And this comes through in all kinds of little words and phrases and even body language, because we look at the body language that goes with vocation, whereby the coach reveals through that conversation, or the coachee, I should say, reveals to the coach their calling, what gives them purpose and meaning. That's our starting point. And we always want to begin with that. We don't want to begin with the externals in terms of our themes, but with what's really important to this person. Then we go into integration. And integration is about the different, you could say, parts of self, almost like sub-personalities or your inner team. How do they get along? How do they work together? I'm, for example, a mother and now a grandmother, actually. I'm also a business leader. I'm a coach and I'm also an artist, in dance and performance and poetry. How do I bring together these different parts of myself? Or I want to be at home and belong, but I also want to travel. How do I bring together these different desires? So the I in VIA stands for integration, and that's about the struggle that we all must experience and must go through, and that we bring together as part of our life journey. So that's the second thing that we look out for as coaches, is where is this person's integration struggle now, and how will they bring this to peaceful resolution within themselves? And then finally and lastly, the A stands for alignment. And alignment is about, how do I align my energy with the energy of other people to accomplish things together in the world? So that pragmatic, outward looking, make a difference, get things done, build a business, whatever it is, that's actually the third part, because we're coaching from within and we're encouraging people to lead from within. And so VIA, vocation, integration, alignment, is a very broad framework that all other kinds of coaching approaches, models, techniques can fit with, but that's the essence of the structure, the deep structure that I use in my work.
Well, thank you so much, Zora. There's so much to explore there. You know, as you were sharing, I actually can feel my heart expanding, because I see a whole new territory of learning that awaits in your program. So for the sake of time, let's change gear a little bit. I want to tell you how I got to know you. You know, you really are one of the most active members in the ICF-Colorado chapter. So when I got to know you through your program, one of the education group that you offered, I was so surprised that you were, at that time, you were only here for a couple months. And now you've just been here for over a year. Tell me about that.
Of course, I've been involved with the ICF for many years. I've been on global committees and assessing and so on. But when I came here, really one of the first things I did was to find my local ICF chapter and to join. And I must say, you know, when I joined, I thought this is going to be important. It's going to be helpful. I'm going to meet fellow coaches. But it has given me so much more than what I even hoped for. This has been a loving, supportive learning community. Some of my closest new friends here I've met through ICF Colorado, and whether it's in our face-to-face meetings once a month in Denver, which I go to if I'm in the country, I'm there, or whether it's the online webinars, whether it's my own service as part of the education leadership team for Colorado, every interaction I feel it's loving and caring, it's respectful, but it's also an opportunity for learning and growth. And that mutual commitment to our own and one another's growth as coaches, and even beyond that, as human beings, as individuals, and as a community, has just enriched my life, as I said, really beyond what I could have hoped for.
Aw, ditto. I feel exactly the same. That's how I found this community as well. And well, just like you, I really found a community and quickly became part of it, an integral part of it. So I know you have so much wisdom and depth and life lesson that you could really share with our audience. If I have to distill into like one question, right? Is there something that you have learned along your life's journey that you find is really valuable, that you could share with our audience?
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say so and to ask. I think probably the thing that I would say is that life is improvisational. It's an improvisational art. And that means that in every moment, we are responding to the now, to what's happening now, to what we're feeling now, to the person in front of us now, to what they're feeling now, to the changes in the world around us. And it also means that at every moment we have the opportunity to let go of what we thought we knew, to discover something afresh, to bring compassion and courage and clarity into our interactions. And so I strive to do that in my coaching, in my life. I strive to practice the art of co-creative improvisation. And I feel like saying, let's join the dance.
Oh, wow. You mentioned about the parallel lives. For me, my impression is you actually are manifesting all these possibilities of your life. in this profession of coaching. I just love your definition of life as improvisational art, and it's a co-creative dance. And thank you so much for dancing with me today. I've learned so much, and I know this conversation will continue offline as well. Thank you for being an active part of this community.
Thank you so much for your kind questions and for the opportunity to be here and have a conversation with you today.
The pleasure's mine.